Hey everyone, welcome back to Mental Health for Creators. If you're new here, this channel is all about productivity, creativity, and avoiding burnout. So if you want to stay inspired and create your best work, make sure to like and subscribe to support the channel. Let's talk about failure. Yes, that thing we all hate. All right, let's be real. No one likes to fail. It sucks. It's frustrating. It makes you question everything. And when you're in a creative field, whether you're a writer, designer, musician, YouTuber, or anything else, failure can feel personal. Like, am I even good at this? Should I just quit? But here's the deal. Failure is not the enemy. In fact, it's one of the most valuable tools you have as a creative. Some of the best ideas, biggest breakthroughs, and most successful creators only got where they are because they learned how to turn failure into fuel. So instead of seeing failure as this big, scary monster, let's talk about how to make it work for you. Because the truth is, every creative person fails. It's what you do after that makes the difference. Why failure feels so personal in creativity. Let's start with why failure in creative work hurts so much. It's different from, say, failing a math test or messing up a work report. Why? Because creativity is deeply tied to identity. When you create something, you're putting a part of yourself into it. If people don't like it, or worse, if no one notices it at all, it feels like you are being rejected. Unlike traditional work, there's no clear roadmap for what success looks like. So failure can feel like a sign that you're lost. Sound familiar? If so, you're not alone. But here's the good news. Failure is not proof that you're not creative. It's proof that you're pushing boundaries. The mindset shift. Failure equals data, not judgment. Before we get into the practical stuff, let's do a quick mindset shift. Most people think failure means I'm not good enough. But successful creatives think of failure as feedback, not judgment. Think about it like this. When scientists run experiments, do they get mad if something doesn't work? No. They take notes, tweak their approach, and try again. Failure isn't a reflection of worth. It's just data. So instead of thinking, this means I suck, try asking, what worked and what didn't? Why didn't this idea connect? What can I change next time? Now, let's get into the real, actionable ways you can turn failure into a massive advantage in your creative journey. 1. Study your failures like a scientist. The first step is to analyze, not agonize. Instead of sitting in frustration, take a deep breath and look at what actually happened. Break it down like this. What was my original goal? More engagement, a bigger audience, a better design. What did I try? Did you experiment with a new style, a different platform, or a bold idea? What didn't work? Was it timing? Execution? A misalignment with your audience? What did work? Even in failures, there's usually something positive to take away. Example. Say you post a YouTube video that totally flops. No views, no engagement, nothing. Instead of just feeling defeated, analyze. Was the title not catchy enough? Did the thumbnail not grab attention? Was the content too long or too short? Did I post at a bad time? Suddenly, failure becomes useful. It gives you clues on what to try next. 2. Separate yourself from the work. This one's huge. You are not your work. When a creative project doesn't go as planned, it's easy to think, I'm not good enough. But that's not true. A failed project means the project didn't work, not that you didn't work. Try reframing your thinking. Instead of I failed, say, that idea didn't work. What's next? Instead of, I'm not talented enough, say, this is part of the process of getting better. The best creatives detach themselves from their work just enough to learn from it without letting it destroy their confidence. 3. Keep a failure journal. Yeah, this might sound weird, but stick with me. A failure journal is a private place where you document things that didn't work and what you learned from them. Over time, you'll start to see patterns in your failures, which means you can avoid making the same mistakes twice. How to use it. Write down the project, idea, or experiment. Note what went wrong and why you think it didn't work. Jot down at least one takeaway, what you'd do differently next time. Over time, this turns failure into an actual roadmap for improvement. 4. Talk to other creatives about their failures. You know what makes failure worse? Thinking you're the only one struggling. Trust me, every successful creator has failed, usually more times than they can count. But most people only see the finished successes, not the hundreds of flops that came before. So, talk to other creatives. Ask them, what's the biggest creative failure you've ever had? How do you deal with projects that don't work? What's something that flopped but later led to a great idea? You'll quickly realize failure is normal. And better yet, you'll pick up insights on how others turned it into something useful. 5. Reframe failure as a skill-building opportunity. Here's a wild idea. What if failure is actually good for you? Think about it. Every time you fail, you learn something new. Get stronger at handling setbacks. Develop resilience. Gain insights you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Most importantly, you improve. Example, if your photography experiment didn't turn out well, now you know what doesn't work, which gets you closer to knowing what does work. So next time you fail, instead of thinking, I messed up, remind yourself, I just leveled up. 6. Embrace the next 10 rule. Here's a fun exercise. Anytime you fail, commit to making 10 more things before judging yourself. Why? Because often failure isn't proof you're not good, it's just proof you need more reps. So if one post flops, don't quit, make 10 more. If a project doesn't take off, start 10 new ones. Creativity is a numbers game. The more you make, the more chances you have to succeed. Final thoughts. Failure is a shortcut to success. At the end of the day, failure is a natural part of being a creative. The difference between people who make it and people who quit? How they handle failure. So the next time something flops, remind yourself. Failure is feedback, not a judgment. It's an opportunity to learn and improve. Every creative person fails. It's normal. The only real failure is not trying again. Now go make something new, and if it fails, good. That means you're one step closer to something amazing. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.